So a common theory about movements in kata is that it's things like blocking a kick or catching a kick. We go to great lengths to explain that using your arm against a kick might not be the most sensible thing in the world, especially if you're going to put the small bone of your arm against a big heavy kick, and especially if the person who's doing the kick isn't doing a nice sport kick to touch you, but is actually intending to smash you to pieces. So kicks are actually really, really difficult to catch in that sense. But that doesn't say that we can't deal with a kick, right? So do kicks occur? Yes, they do. So what moves from our kata then are there to deal with a kick? Well, first off, have a think about the range that the guy's got to kick from. He's got to be where he's going to kick. So as that kick's going to come in, we see things like bringing the foot up to deflect, and maybe not. I definitely don't want to come down to here because it just leaves everything open up here for the following punches which are going to come. It's never going to be just a kick on its own. So if we're in a situation where there's really going to be a kick coming in, then I really need to close that down. Right? Running away from it where you give him another chance to throw something else is not the way for us to get any kind of advantage here. So how do we use kata moves to deal with the kick? Kick comes in and we're going in. Right? So what move did we use from a kata there? I just brought my knee up into it. Right, so what moves do you do where you bring your knee up into it? Well, you've seen things like this. And if I was to throw the hands in as well, then we're going to get massive disruption. Now you say, well, it's not good. That shin-to-shin contact, that could be devastating if you don't condition your shins. Well, that conditioning is part of karate as well. We hope not to have to take a blow, but we train to take a blow if it's necessary. You know that the human body doesn't like disruption on more than one level. So we might take a bruise on the leg, but it's very difficult if we're taking that, if we're receiving that, to also get this as well. So we see those kind of things happening quite sensibly in a lot of ways. So the key here is that I don't want to meet that knee coming up. That's prone to error. Okay. What I did was, as the kick came in, I just turned my body into it so that I was cutting the limb. Right? Now, leg to leg is always going to be a better bet than arm to leg. Right? But better than all of that is that as he starts to kick, I just close that off and we start to deal with that straight away. If you've got someone who's a good kicker, chances are he'll get that kick up and he'll lay into it before I've got a chance to do anything clever. So as soon as we get any inclination, we need to be in and stopping it. And in so many ways, that comes back to not knowing what the attack's going to be. We're just going to throw our application in because that's what we're doing. We're throwing our karate technique at the attacker, not necessarily waiting to block and then do something back to him. So what you saw just then was that as he started to kick, I moved in close to distance, got a capping hand there and struck into the head like this, which just happens to look like the move from Wamshu or MP. What was lacking from it was this, because if I do go into there like that, as the head comes in, I also might want to bring my knee up and make a strike out of that as well, or capture that other leg, which is the one that he'd be using to balance on if he was trying to kick me, and therefore I've then got full advantage for the rest of the sequence. So you see, we go with that kind of idea. We'll leave that there for the moment.